Welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. Today's video is a very belated video and it is my August new releases video. So I am actually filming this at the end of August, so most of these books are already out. In fact, all of them will be out because they all came out in August, and as I say, this is the last day of August I'm filming on, so it is very late, but I did still want to film it because I still wanted to talk about these books. I think it would be good to have a record of the books that I did or do want to check out that came out this month, so if I want to refer back to it next year I can do, or in a few months time I can refer back to it. I always make the list of books each month. I just didn't get around to filming it any earlier than now. And I have been a bit more organised this month. I've put them all onto a bookshelf on Goodreads so that I can kind of go through the list and maybe give a bit more information about the books. Not like in a lot of detail because I don't know a lot, but maybe like a brief summary, brief tagline or something along the lines, just a bit more information than what I usually give. So without further ado, we're just going to dive straight into the list. So I'm going to just dive in. As I say, I might not know a ton about these books, but we'll go into it. So first on my list is Love Arranged by Lauren Asher. This is book 3 in the Lakefront Billionaires series. I've been enjoying this series. I've read the previous 2 books and it's a series, as the title suggests, about billionaires set in a small town. The cover for this is stunning. It will match perfectly with the other books in the series. I think Lauren Asher has some great covers, and even though this series is separate to the Dreamland Billionaire series, the covers still have kind of the similar sort of vibe, so they look really good on the shelf together. Even though they are different, you can tell they're by the same author, so looking forward to this one. And I think this is, from the synopsis, looks like it's a fake dating situation, which I really love those, so looking forward to diving into that one. Then the next book is one I actually already have, because obviously I'm filming this at the end of the month, and that is The Fallen and the Kiss of Dusk by Carissa Broadbent. This is book 2 in the Shadowborn duet and book 4 overall in the Crowns of Nyaxia series. So I won't go into too much detail about what this one is going to be about because obviously it is the second in a duet and I don't want to spoil it. But this series is a vampire fantasy romance series. I would definitely recommend this series. I've mentioned it quite a bit in previous videos, and I'm definitely looking forward to diving into this book at some point. I've not actually heard anyone really talk about this book, even though it came out in August. I've not really seen many people reading it yet, so I don't know what to expect, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this duet wraps up. I assume it may leave it on a cliffhanger ready for the start of the next duet, which I'm not quite sure what that one's going to be called. Don't know if it was going to tell me at the end of this book. Probably not. Oh, no, it doesn't say in here, but I'm sure we will be getting that next year. Let me see. Oh, the Bloodborne duet is the final duet, which will be coming out. Oh, we'll have to wait until August next year, apparently, for book 5. So a long wait, but looking forward to diving into that one soon. Then we have The Locked Ward by Sarah Pekkanen. This one is a mystery thriller. I don't want to know too much about this one, purely because it's a mystery thriller, but the tagline on Goodreads says The Locked Ward is a shocking psychological thriller about the complex bonds of sisterhood and what happens when they are stretched to the breaking point. Some doors in the Locked Ward should never be opened. So I feel like that doesn't give too much away, but gives you a little taste of what this one, the kind of premise of this one. As I say, because it's a mystery thriller, I don't want to know too much about it. But yeah, looking forward to checking out that one at some point. Then we have Too Old for This by Samantha Downing. Now, I mentioned this one in my UK versus US book covers. The UK cover for this is awful in my opinion. The US cover makes the book look very dark and sinister, whereas the UK cover looks almost kind of fun, light-hearted, and I don't know what the vibes of the story are, but it is following a retired serial killer. So I feel like the vibes are going to be dark rather than comedy, which is what the UK cover suggests. So we'll see. But yeah, this follows a retired serial killer who I think obviously has got away with her crimes for many years and is about to be discovered. So she may have to start killing again, I think is the premise for that one. So sounds like it's going to be dark, but as I say, the UK cover does not give that vibe. I'm not going to be buying a copy of that because I really dislike the cover, so I'm getting that one from the library. The next one I have is If Not For My Baby by Kate Golden. This is Kate Golden's, I think, first contemporary story. She wrote the Sacred Stones trilogy, which I did really enjoy, but that was a fantasy romance series. And this one is definitely contemporary, and I think it is a rock star romance, which is quite exciting. I haven't read too many of those, but I'm definitely looking forward to checking this one out. And the cover, I love the cover for this one. The artwork is so pretty. That's why I picked up a physical copy of this one, because I just love the cover so much. Then we have The Magician of Tiger Castle by Louis Saka. This author wrote Holes, if you don't know, which was a very popular book, and I think it probably is still popular, quite a while ago. I don't know when that came out. Let's just have a quick look. Came out in 2000, is that really right? Yeah, originally published in September 2000. That's crazy. So 25 years ago. And I remember reading it at school and watching the film, and I don't think I've read anything else from this author, although they have written other stuff. But I was interested to see this new book from them. They've not written anything for a while, I don't think, so I'm interested to see what they do with this. It is their first adult novel, which again is quite interesting. And it says a modern fantasy classic of forbidden love, a crumbling kingdom, and the unexpected magic all around us. So that sounds interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what this author does with that. The cover's really pretty as well. So yeah, as I say, I'm interested to revisit this author, because I've not read Holes for a very long time. And obviously they've not published anything for a long time, so looking forward to checking that one out. Then we have The Gilded Heiress by Joanna Shupe. This is their newest book. It's a historical romance. I have two kind of opinions on the cover. I do like the cover, but I miss the couple covers. I'm not going to lie, but it is what it is. We know that couple covers are seemingly a thing of the past for historical romances, but this one is nice, but as I say, compared to some of her previous book covers, is a little bit disappointed. But this is a Anastasia retelling set during the Gilded Age, so I don't want to know too much more than that, but I'm looking forward to diving into it. I love Joanna Shupe's writing. All of her books, or the majority of her books, have been set during the Gilded Age, and I've had a really good time reading them, so definitely looking forward to checking that one out. Then we have Warrior Princess Assassin by Bridget Kemmerer. This is the first book in a new series by her called the Braided Fate series, and this series is their first adult novel. She's previously written young adult, but this is the first first adult one that she's written, which is really exciting. A lot of authors seem to be doing that. Obviously we've just had Louis Saka, who's written their first adult book, and Stephanie Perkins is writing their first adult book, Rainbow Rowell, Casey West. A lot of the big young adult authors that we know and loved many years ago are delving into adult, which is really exciting. And this says it is an irresistible and steamy fantasy about three characters whose paths will collide in surprising ways. Two royals pushed into a political engagement, and the assassin tasked with hunting them down. So it sounds really exciting. I cannot wait to pick that one up. I've not heard anyone talk about it, but I'm looking forward to picking it up, that is for sure. Then we have He Falls First by Jill Shalvis. This is the first book in a new series from Jill Shalvis called The Colburn Brothers. So Jill Shalvis, I do have mixed feelings about her books. Some of them I've really enjoyed, some of them not so much, but I'm interested in checking out this new series, and I think this one is a second chance romance, I think, possibly, or it's about this woman who, by the looks of it, who is kind of sworn off love and then finds love again. So looking forward to checking this one out. It's a small town romance. Apparently it's a grumpy sunshine. I'm just looking at the reviews, and it features forced proximity, so that's always interesting. But yeah, looking forward to checking out a new series from Jill Shalvis, and I'm hoping that I will enjoy it. Then we have For the Record by Emma Lord. I have not read any of Emma Lord's previous books, I don't think, but she is an author that I have on my radar to check out, and this one is got a cute cover. This one says it's an electrifying rom-com of rivalry and redemption, perfect for fans of Emily Henry and Daisy Jones and the Six. So that sounds amazing. I love Emily Henry's books and I love Daisy Jones and the Six, so mix those two together and I'm sure we'll have a great time. But it looks like it's a romance between two music artists. One's a rock star and one's a pop princess, so sounds perfect. Looking forward to picking that one up. I think I've got that one on hold from the library if I recall correctly. Then that's kind of like a cute romance, and then we have a very opposite book, but it's called The Dead Husband Cookbook by Danielle Valentine. This one I was intrigued by the cover, and it's basically about this chef who I think kills her husband and uses blood in her cooking or something like that. I don't know, but I'm interested to check it out. The cover is so striking, and that's what kind of drew me in, as well as obviously the title. The title is obviously quite striking as well. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. Then we have Zom Rom-Com by Olivia Dade, which is book one in the Supernatural Entanglement series that she's writing. I've not yet read from Olivia Dade. I've got a couple of her books on my TBR and I own a couple of them, but I've just never got around to reading her books. But this one sounds like it's going to be fun. It says, teaming up with your neighbour during a zombie outbreak is a no-brainer, but if it turns out he's a vampire, the stakes couldn't be higher in this infectious new paranormal romance from Olivia Dade. So that sounds exciting. I love vampire books. So we've got a vampire during a zombie attack. It sounds perfect. Can't wait to dive into that one. Then we have Let's Give 'em Pumpkin to Talk About by Isabel Pop. This one is obviously a fall romance with a punny title and a very fall inspired or fall/autumn inspired cover, and this one I think is a reverse Grumpy Sunshine, so she's the grump, he's the sunshine, and it's a small town romance, I think, and I can't wait to pick up this one. I really hope my library gets a copy of it. I think it's probably going to be the Afterglow subscription because it's published by Afterglow, which I have actually cancelled my subscription of, which it's a little bit sad because I would have really liked to have a copy of this one, but I'm definitely going to be checking it out when it comes into the library, so looking forward to picking that one up. Then we have the Good Vampire's Guide to Blood and Boyfriends by Jamie D'Amato, I think is how that's pronounced. And this one says, Heartstopper meets Buffy in this queer paranormal rom-com where a college sophomore must survive becoming a vampire and the cute boy who discovers his secrets. It's I think it's an MM. which I'm looking forward to. I'm intrigued by this one. As I say, I love vampire books, so anything that mentions vampire, I'm probably going to add it to my TBR. So looking forward to checking that one out. Then we've got Love's a Witch by Trisha O'Malley. This is book 1 in the Scottish Charm series. I love the cover for this one, and this one says Charmed meets the Pumpkin Spice Cafe in this cozy romantasy from Trisha O'Malley. So that sounds perfect. I love Charmed, the TV show. I was obsessed with it many years ago. I've watched it all a few times through, and the Pumpkin Spice Cafe is a lot of fun, so I'm definitely down to read this one. Then we have The Late Night Witches by Aurelie Wallace, and this is another witchy romance. You can see we're starting to get into the autumn books. And then this says it's an enchantingly warm and funny novel about family, love, lost and found, discovering who you are and how difficult it is to slay a vampire, from the beloved national best-selling author of the TikTok sensation In the Company of Witches, which I'm not familiar with. But again, we've got another vampire book and witches. What more could you want? Then we have The Sea Witch by Eva Lee, which is book 1 in the Salt and Sorcery trilogy. This, I think, is Eva Lee's foray into fantasy. She's previously written historical romance. I'm not sure if this is still historical. I think it might be, but I think there is possibly some fantasy elements. Yeah, it says, from a world where women are forbidden to use magic and the only freedom is found on the Caribbean high seas, comes a swashbuckling romantasy from Eva Lee. So looking forward to checking this one out. I'm interested to see what she does in the fantasy genre, and I'm sure it's going to be great. Then there is A Waltz on the Wild Side by Erica Ridley. This is the 6th book in the Wild Winchester series. I'm not up to date with this series, but the previous books that I've read have been a lot of fun. It's a historical romance series following this found family of the Winchesters. They get into a lot of trouble and have a lot of fun. It's kind of like almost like a historical rom-com, and I'm enjoying that series, but I'm not up to date with it, but I wanted to mention it. Then we have Chasing Forever by Piper Rain. This is book 4 in the Plain Daisy Ranch series. This is a like small town ranch cowboy series. The cover for this is absolutely stunning, and it is a Married in Vegas situation. So it says, it was a fun Vegas getaway until I woke up married to my ex-fiance's brother. So that sounds like it's going to be messy, and I can't wait to check that one out. Then we have The Women of Arlington Hall by Jane Healy. I think this was on Amazon's First Reads as one of their selection, but this is a historical fiction about female code breakers during World War II. I really enjoy historical fiction, and I'm looking forward to checking that one out. And then this was another one that was on the Amazon First Reads list, and that is Last Seen by J.T. Ellison. This one is a twisted psychological thriller about the bonds of family and the disconnect between memory and the truth. I assume it's about someone that goes missing. I absolutely love the cover for this one. The cover for some reason screams Twilight to me. I think because in the film they do kind of shots of the road, don't they, with the trees. So yeah, I wanted to mention that one. Then we've got 2 left, so if you're still here, there's a lot of books on this list. I won't be getting them all to getting through to them all at any time soon, but I do wanted to just mention the ones I'm interested in. And this is called What Hunger by Catherine Dang. This one is, again, got another quite striking cover, and this says it's a haunting coming-of-age tale following the daughter of Vietnamese immigrants as she grapples with the weight of generational trauma while navigating the violent power of teenage girlhood. Sounds interesting. I am intrigued by this one. The cover really spoke to me for some reason. And then the last book on this list is Anywhere With You by Ellie Palmer. This is a contemporary romance, and it says a nostalgic, heartwarming romance about a type A woman who road trips through the Minnesotan woods with her non-committal childhood best friend, only for their long suppressed sparks to burn like wildfire. So I love the childhood friends to lovers trope, so I cannot wait to pick up this one. It sounds like it'll be a lot of fun and looking forward to it. So they are all of the books that I have on my radar that came out in August. Let me know what books you're looking forward to that came out this month, and I will see you guys in my next video.